The subject of dating someone that's a little bit older than you and seeing this guy as a complete weirdo, or he could be something that he's not say he is, from the mind of Margot in this film, I find very realistic for me. What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is ICD Movie Reviews. My name is Owen DeBrincat, and today I'm going to review the latest coming-of-age psychological thriller, Cat Person. This movie is directed by Susanna Fogel, and this movie stars Emilia Jones and Nicholas Braun. When Margot, a college student, goes on a date with the older Robert, she finds that IRL Robert doesn't live up to the Robert she has been flirting with over text. So yeah, you're probably wondering, what is this movie? And to myself, I was just looking at the cinemas, what movie's out right now, and there's this movie called Cat Person that is directed by Susanna Fogel, who actually directed A Spy Who Dumped Me, which that movie isn't good, but she have written such good movies like Booksmart. So I'm like, okay, I read the synopsis of this movie, looks interesting, and also has Emilia Jones in it, who was in the movie Coda that won Best Picture, which I think is a great film. So I was interested in this movie just from the synopsis alone and going into it. And walking out of this movie, I'm gonna say, throughout the most part, I enjoyed this movie. I think this is a pretty underrated film that came out this year. I think the thing that I mostly liked about this movie is the concept, because this film tells the subject of the horrors of dating. Now, I am single. I have never been on a date before, so yeah, this is coming from a guy that's pretty much single throughout his life so far. But the way this film progresses, it felt very real for me. Because some people look at some other people, looking at them thinking they're not what they say they are. The subject of dating someone that's a little bit older than you and seeing this guy as a complete weirdo, or he could be something that he's not say he is, from the mind of Margot in this film, I find very realistic for me. Especially the way the film opens. There is wordings in the opening scene that say guys are afraid of women laughing at them and girls are afraid the guys are serial killers that could kill them. And you can tell that is true. Some people think of people thinking that they're not what they say they are, and that subject really works well in this film for me. Obviously it might not happen to everybody, but the way they progress the horrors of dating in this film, I thought it's really well done in this film. I also thought the acting of this film is really great. Emilia Jones in this film is the star of this film. I loved her in Coda. I thought she was fantastic in that movie. I thought she's great in the film because, first of all, she's a chick that works in a movie theater in this movie, and that's a plus for me because I love cinemas. But for all seriousness, through the mind of her character in this film, it was intense for me. I thought the way what she thinks of the guy Robert is really interesting in this film. She's basically doing the Walter Mitty thing where she just imagines Robert being what he is or being what he thinks he is. And I thought the film does a really good job of going through a mind of this teenager, and I think Emilia Jones does a really good job in this film. Also, Nicholas Braun as Robert. Now, at first I'm just like, this guy looks very familiar. I looked at his IMDb page after this movie, and yeah, he was that glowing guy in Sky High. Have you guys seen that film? Pretty underrated Disney film. Yeah!
In a few moments.
But again, for all seriousness, he is also really good in this film. Because you look at this guy in this film and the stuff that he does in this film, there are times that he's very uncomfortable, there are times that he's very weird, there are times where you feel like he's not a normal person. And I thought Nicholas Braun performs that role very, very well. Even at times in this film, you think of what he is thinking at times, and I thought Nicholas Braun is really great in this film. I think what's great about this film as well is the chemistry between them two, because their chemistry in this film is really off. Very weird in this film, but not in a bad way. It shows that dating can be weird sometimes with some people, and it may not go the way you think. And at times the film gets very uncomfortable with that subject, especially with their chemistry, and just the way this film progresses, it's really well done for the subject of dating. Sometimes dating can go very, very wrong. Sometimes dating can be very, very weird. There are even things that Margot does in this film where I'm just like, is this girl stupid? But in a way where I'm like, okay. I feel like that is what people can think of this situation. But even throughout the minds of Margot in this film, there is a really good moment in this film where Margot and Robbie are doing something, and it goes through a perspective of Margot's thoughts where there's another version of her talking to her. And honestly, that creates some really comedic tension as well. This movie has some good black comedy as well. There are moments in the film that was funny, but there are also some bits in this film that is very suspenseful and thrilling. And it's a really hard film not to spoil because there are a lot of moments in this film where I'm like, holy shit, did not see that coming for this type of film. And throughout the first 2 acts, in my personal opinion, it was very underrated. I loved the themes of this film. I loved the subject of horrors and dating. I thought Susanna directed this movie mostly very well. And the story of the film, I was intrigued throughout the film. I would say my only big issue with Cat Person, in my personal opinion, is the last 10 minutes. To me, the last 10 minutes is where the film goes a bit all over the place and a bit confusing, where I'm thinking, what the heck is going on in that last 10 minutes of the film? I think the film is trying to make us think in our heads what we think happens, but honestly for a film like this, it does not work, and I feel like the ending should have been a bit more clear to this film. Also, there are some very cringe-worthy moments in this film. There are moments where the actor says something and I'm like, damn, really? That's the way they've written this film? There are some parts of this film that are very, very cringe-worthy. I would say, guys, overall, if you have not seen this movie or if you have not heard of this movie, check it out. I think this movie is a pretty underrated coming-of-age psychological thriller film. It tells a really good subject of the horrors in dating, what people think of one another, and it provides some very realistic elements. Emilia Jones, Nicholas Braun, they did a really good job in this film. This film has some funny moments, this film has some thrilling moments. The film has a lot of genres in one film, and I thought it completely worked. The first 2 acts is really good. The third act, though, was a little bit of a mess, but throughout the first 2 acts, I did dug this film, so I'm going to give Cat Person a B. So guys, that is my review for Cat Person. Let me know what you think of this film in the comments below. Do you like the film, hate the film, or you thought it's okay? Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Keep contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel for my latest movie reviews and movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day.